Thank you very much, Jonathan. It's a real pleasure to see this auditorium once again fully packed with top experts of counterterrorism from all over the world, which came, or coming, I would say, year by year to this conference, and we are privileged to have you here with us. Maybe it's not politically correct to say it, but the mayor of Herzliya was mentioning the fact that Herzliya became a city which is known by its counterterrorism activity, and we are proud to contribute to that. So the joke says that many, not all of them, but many or most of the terrorists around the world are praying with their faces to Mecca, and the counter-terrorists are praying with their faces to Herzliya. So thank you, Mayor, for that. Professor Uriel Reichman, the president of our university, one of the 5 founders of the Institute for Counterterrorism, Mr. Shabtai Shavit, the chairman of the board of ICT and one of the founders of the Institute, Baroness Michelle Konings, thank you for coming again to us. We have so many distinguished friends here with us, which I will fail to mention all of them. I want to mention my good friend and my colleague, General Amos Gilad. Thank you for coming to the conference. We are living in Israel. We are living in this neighborhood, rough neighborhood, under this Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times. Well, those are interesting times. Those are interesting times that we are living in, and unfortunately, almost every year is an interesting time in this rough neighborhood. We are going to discuss many aspects of those interesting times during the coming 4 days. Just to mention a few of them, the changing of the international relations, the changing from multi-power influence into, from one power influence into multi-power influence, the raising of the Shiite hegemony in the Middle East and around the globe, led by Iran, the ending of the nuclear deal and what will be the ramifications of that, the thrive of Iran to build and to have a nuclear capability, a nuclear bomb, the sanction regime of United States on Iran, and the efforts of Iran to destabilize different regimes and different countries in the Middle East. And of course, all of that by using terrorist organizations and militias in different parts of the world. All of that will be discussed during the conference. There are also, from an Israeli point of view, some positive trends which are happening right now, and this is the relations between Israel and some of our Sunni neighboring countries, or should I say moderate Arab countries, that are fearful from the fact that Iran has a greater impact on the region. And from an Israeli perspective, this is an unprecedented opportunity to strengthen our relation with those countries that used to be regarded maybe as enemies of Israel. Shabtai was mentioning the phenomenon of the Islamist, jihadist, fundamentalists led by Daesh. Also, transition time. Daesh is changing. The fashion of Daesh is now changing, and we are all puzzled. What would be the outcome of that? Would we see a new Daesh emerge, a new fashion emerge? Would we see old fashion coming in instead of Daesh? And I refer to Al-Qaeda for that matter. Would Daesh establish a new caliphate state in a different part of the world, in a different theater of jihad? Would Daesh become an under-the-radar, non-hybrid terrorist organization that inspire others, and so on and so forth? Europe is facing new challenges of counterterrorism as an outcome of the fact that many of those foreign fighters are returning to Europe, and they're coming with their families, in some cases with kids that have been born under the caliphate state. What do you do with them? What do you do with them now? What do you do with them down the road? And all of that is accompanied with the technological revolution that the world is facing in so many different aspects, cyber aspects, the machine learning, and AI, and so on and so forth. So on one hand, it's good because we see more and more security services, new capabilities in contending and preventing terrorism by using new technology. But many of those technologies are on the shelf, and unfortunately, if not now, in the near future, we would see terrorists using these modern technologies, new technologies as well. All of those subjects will be discussed in the coming 2 days here, and in the other 2 days in the different workshops at the Interdisciplinary Center in Herzliya. So did I say interesting times? Yes, those are very interesting times. If it's not interesting enough, we are actually now a week before the election in Israel, so we will have the privilege to have few Israel prominent leaders, political leaders, that will take the opportunity to address you and to share their views about counterterrorism in general and Israeli efforts to counterterrorism in particular. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all my staff at ICT, all the dedicated staff of IDC that really did, the impossible, which is conducting this global forum, international conference, with no production company, just with the help of our students and our staff. So thank you, everybody, and the conductor of everything, which is Stevie Weinberg. Thank you very much.